All right, welcome back to the Nimrodjaune podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wall, and welcome back. Shout out to all my Apple Podcast. This is Spotify, listen to YouTube, watch. Shout out to all of y'all. Make sure if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jack, and yeah, I still grow up in a very predominantly black county. So growing up, my teachers, classmates, custodians, lunch ladies, neighbors were either black or Hispanic. It was one or the other. And there was so little racism or so little prejudgment against me because I was black that I didn't believe it was a real thing. Obviously, I was taught about the racism systems, but I was taught like, oh, this happened in the 1960s. It's like 2015, 2016. I'm like, that was 50, 60 years ago. I'm not worried about it because I would look around in my classroom. Everybody in there is black, except maybe one kid. All my teachers black. Principal black. I'm not thinking that's a real thing. And it wasn't until I say about my sophomore year in high school. So when I realized, oh no, being black is different. And my experience was two things. It was one time I was late to school, so I was getting an Uber to school. I live in an apartment complex. So there's multiple pathways going to different apartments, coming down, leading to different places, right? And I'm sitting on a post. Post meaning there's a fence, small wooden fences that block the grass from the sidewalk. So you know where to walk during the nighttime. And I'm sitting there. And there was a little boy that was walking down the hill. Because there's a hill right there. He saw me before I saw him. And I saw him break from the sidewalk, go into the street where the cars are, walk down till he was 20, 30 feet in front of me, then get back on the sidewalk to go to his bus stop. I saw that shit and I started laughing. Because for the first time in my entire life, I saw something that was against what I grew up knowing. For the first time, I actually experienced, oh no, that's what it's like to be in black. My second time was when me, my brother, and my sister, we were walking from McDonald's back to the hotel. Right, we were dropping my brother off for college. And there was some boys, I don't know, I'm assuming white, drove past us making monkey noises. I laughed again. Because it was showing me this is what it actually means to be black. When you grow up in an area where the average person looks exactly like you don't really see a difference in race. You don't really understand the concept of race and why it was created. You don't understand it. Because if everybody looks like me, what is the purpose of race? Race to me was love, community, bonding. It wasn't like you're black, he's Hispanic, his ethnicity is Hispanic, she's white. It was never none of that. It was, even though we may not be the same, yo, we brothers, we cool, we friends, we're good friends. It was never none of this. It was till that point where it was like, okay, the blackness I possess is very different. And it also took, I'm gonna be honest, Africans have or cast this judgment down onto the children of African parents that were not born in Africa. If you weren't born there, they look at you like, oh, you're one of them. And you ask yourself, what does that mean? Because if we look at both of us, the police look at both of us, they're gonna say, look at these two niggas. So what is the purpose of this racial divide we're trying to have right now? What is the purpose of it? What are we gaining from this? It always never made sense to me. But still, it didn't matter because it doesn't matter if you accepted me or not. We were both black. Our neighbors were black. Counselors is black. Principals is black. Everything around us was black. So it wasn't like, what are we talking about? Why are we trying to have this? That didn't make any sense to me. I just always disregarded like, that's just like my mom or my people is being them, just whatever. Then I realized, oh no, it's conditioning. It is generations of conditioning to just assuage the pains of stupidity. and trying to create a racial divide between Africans and African Americans. It's hilarious how Africans try to denounce people that were born in America when we both can trace our ancestry back to Africa. It's just one can do it way better than the other. Just one can do it way better than the other. And then one of the funniest stuff I've ever seen, one of the funniest experiences I've ever had to deal with was there was this person that was in the family, and she was trying to teach me a language that my parents speak. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I've always wanted to learn it a little bit, but the reasons for why she was teaching me it was so I could change the perception of the people who actually grew up in Africa. So I can portray to them that I actually know a little bit. So they won't think of me as, oh, he's an American. I'm like, wait, hold on. They're judging me because I wasn't born in Africa, but you know what my parents are. You know where they're from. But you're judging me because I wasn't born there. Okay. All right. I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing here. And it always felt stupid to me. It always, that small portion, I ignored it because it just didn't make any rational sense to me. You're African. I'm African American. Well, my parents are African. So we're both black. What are we doing this for? It never made any sense to me. Why are we trying to create a racial divide when if we just stand back and took the names off of both of y'all, we look exactly the same? We have the same dark skin complexion. Some of us may be lighter than others, but we are still black. It never made any common sense to me. It never made any sense to me. And if you're African or you grew up around African people, you always hear them say, you don't want to be like the black Americans. I've always pushed back against that because what does that mean? A thug? A robber? A killer? What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean don't be like the black Americans? What does it actually mean? It's conditioning. And I get it. They've been sold an image of what black people are through the stereotypes that aren't necessarily not true. They're just embellished. Meaning they've been blown out of proportion to make it seem like everybody acts this way. It's not true. Only a small percentage of people act the way that they portray everybody to act as. Not saying that it doesn't exist. It exists. It's just the amount of people that they think act like it is severely small. I wish I would have understood this when I was a kid better, but now that I'm doing this, I kind of understand it. My elementary school principal used to have cotton, a cotton plant sitting on her desk. And as a kid, I'm like, why does she have that? Because she said she was from Mississippi or Alabama, one of those two states. But she would be like, oh yeah, this is from right home to show you what it's like. I was like, huh? And it didn't hit me until now. She was a principal of a school. A black woman was a principal of a school whose ancestry probably came from slavery. It didn't hit me until like right now. The significance of having that cotton plant on her desk from her family lineage being slaves to not even being allowed in class with certain people to now being the principal of a school. It's the progression that counts. And it was so weird how proud she was of being black. It never made sense to me because I'm like, the idea or concept of blackness never fully was never fully calibrated in my brain. Because like I mentioned, everybody around me was either black or Hispanic, and the Hispanics around me never tried to alienate the black people. They were welcoming, and the black people were also welcoming. So we were all one big family, no matter what. So I never felt the excessive need to be black and proud. I never felt that. It was until I saw what it actually meant to be black. Seeing that little boy cross the street to go down the sidewalk because he didn't want to walk in front of me in case anything happened. I'm like, okay, I understand. Cool. He didn't want to walk in front of me. I'm taller than him just by sitting. Even though I was sitting, I was still taller than him. So I understand not wanting to walk in front of me. The things I would ignore because it was like, mm, that's not, that's an outlier. That's an outlier example. It started to make sense to me now. No, those aren't outlier examples. That's regular day. I was like, oh. And when it dawned on me, for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? You don't realize how stupid racism is. Whether you're black, Hispanic, white, or whatever, it doesn't matter what race, ethnicity you are. You don't realize how stupid it is until you've experienced it. Whether firsthand, secondhand through a book, or you've until the point where you experience and you just question, why was that even created? That's when you start to feel, that's when I first feel like you've gotten it, you've made it. Because experiencing that made me question, people think this is okay? Having your first run with people make monkey noises at you and then hearing them kind of giggle as they drive off, you think that's okay? Like you actually think that's regular. You actually think that's like okay to do. How demented are you to believe that's okay? And at some point, you got to question community. Because no person is born racist. It's nature versus nurture. Of course, you can be born with a predisposition to being more inclined to being whatever, more prejudiced. But it's taught to you to be this way, to act this way against people. How, where's the human, like, alarming bell, the human alarm in your mind when it comes to dealing with people like this? Like, does it not ring off when you just make it